Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you so much for checking out another brand new episode. Happy 2024. Thanks for checking out the new episode. Today's features singer-songwriter Riley Holtz and The Lost Cause. Had a great time hanging out with them, talking about their big album release party coming up this weekend. And we get into some of the stories behind the songs on this album. And we can play a couple of live acoustic for you. So grab your tickets, January 12th, Old Rock House in St. Louis, Missouri. Riley Holtz and The Lost Cause with special guest Matt Jordan and John Henry. It's going to be a great night. Can't wait to see you all there. As always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri, serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps over there. All kinds of tasty beverages and food and good times. So come on over to Friendship Brewing Company and check it all out. I got your burgers, nachos, flatbread, pizzas, salads, and pretzels, and all your favorite bar menu items. And then you can get some great live music every weekend. Start your weekend on Thursday with Singo Bingo. This week on January 11th is Singo Bingo Retro 70s. Friday, you got Josh Littig out there, January 12th. Saturday, January 13th, with Jeff Walchhauser. And you've heard me talk all about it, but they recently launched the brand new location in Flint Hill, Missouri. And serving up the same great beer, but a whole new dining experience out of the Fly High Kitchen. And you can catch some live music over there this weekend on Friday, January 12th. Michael Marciano. And Saturday, the debut of Flight. Find more information and everything else, including their full beer menu, food menu, concert calendar, and everything else at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. Be sure to follow along on your Facebook and Instagram for more. And if you are in the Hannibal, Missouri area, they just launched a brand new location in Hannibal now. So come out, get some Sidekick barbecue and some cold Friendship Brewing Company beers and have a great time at Friendship Brewing Company. Again, if you need anything from me, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Email me, rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. And I would love to hear from you. With that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy a brand new episode with Riley Holtz and The Lost Cause.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
What's up, guys? Riley Holtz and The Lost Cause. You're listening to Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with returning guest Riley Holtz and The Lost Cause. Welcome back, guys.
What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
This is very cool. We also have a brand new a member of the band to join us on the show today. So you guys want to
Yeah, we got.
help me introduce,
He was busy last time. We
right.
got Mr. Patrick Ramsey,
Yeah.
our rhythm guitarist, and he's also engineered the album. And he put a lot. These two guys here, Nathan Sigmeyer and Patrick Ramsey, arguably worked harder than anybody else.
Yeah.
In the band. So no offense to the other guys and me, but yeah.
But yeah, we got a brand new record. We kind of last time you guys on, we kind of teased at it. What you guys were working on it?
Yeah, we were originally. It was going to be an album release show in March, but then we wrote some songs that were like they need to be on the album, so we finished working on those, and now they're on the album, and the album's finally coming out. Yeah,
so we went back to Carl, back to the studio to finish it up, and now we have it all ready to go, and we got a big old party happening on January 12th.
January 12th,
kicking off your new year with some brand new music.
Yeah,
and but yeah, let's talk about this night and get into this record. This is the Illegal Before Noon. Illegal Before Noon album release party at Old Rock House. You're bringing along some special guests, including...
we got John Henry and Mr. Matt Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, awesome. That's a great bill. I mean, 3 fantastic decks.
Totally.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and definitely going to get your money's worth out of your ticket that night. So,
a lot of some good St. Louis music.
Yep. Yeah, I just recently met Matt, and I'm a big fan of what he's doing. So it's going to be fun to see him live there. Yeah.
We've hung out and played guitar and stuff, but I've never seen him with his band. So I'm really excited because I know that the guys he's got playing with him, he just raves about. So I'm excited to see.
And all 3 of you are playing full band?
Yep.
Yeah.
All 3 of us. Yeah. John will be up first, and then Matt's up there with his full band, and then we'll be hitting the stage, and I'm excited. We're gonna have a full horn section that night.
Bringing the horns.
Man, I want to make a joke. I'm not going to, but I want to. But it's gonna be a 9. We're gonna have a 9-piece band up there. We're gonna be bringing the heat.
Yeah,
I'm excited because I actually get to play a show with my kid.
Yeah, Nathan's son's gonna be playing trumpet that night.
The first time.
First show like that, yeah.
Nice.
We've done other performances, but like first time him playing with a rock band or whatever.
Very cool.
Yeah. I'm pumped. I can't wait. We've had we just had a rehearsal this week with the horns, and it just brings a different vibe when you have the live horns there, you know.
Yeah, that was it gave me a little sneak peek of the record, and that was definitely a highlight, having a couple different tracks with the horns on it and really bringing a nice full sound on this album. So
you can thank Nathan Sigmeyer for that.
Yeah,
he arranged all the horns and played all the horns. So.
And I created one of the horn players for.
And wow, look at that, an overachiever.
All right. God. Yeah, is that in the liner notes? You get that credit?
It is now.
Yeah, right.
It is now.
So grab tickets, etix.com. You can or oldrockhouse.com. And you can find a link there. Also, Riley's got it on the socials. And
Riley Holtz and Lost Cause, Instagram.
Yeah. And
click that follow button while you're there.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be a great night. And are you guys planning to run through the whole record then, pretty much?
Yeah, we have a couple. We'll be playing the entire record minus one song. We're replacing that one with a brand new song, never heard before, which we're pumped about. But we just wanted it to be, and then we got a couple other tunes that aren't on the record. But we wanted it to be a fun night, and try to. So we kicked out a slow song.
The horns are on one of the other tunes that isn't on the album, so we wanted to make sure we featured them more. So we had to choose which one we were going to put in place of the.
Yep. But no, it's good. But yeah, we wanted to keep it fun and keep it upbeat, and so it's just going to be a night of. Yeah, we're bringing the bangers.
Yeah.
For what they're worth. For
all right.
For
as Kevin Newman would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun night, and I'm excited. Again, John Henry, been playing around town for quite a while, and fantastic player, songwriter, and he's one of my favorites in town for sure. So
yeah, he's been at it, and he's been really cool to me. As I'm, this is my first album, and he's been really cool. Just helping in all the aspects of live music that he's been in for a long time, and it's very new to me as far as original music goes. So
yeah. January 12th, Old Rock House. We'll see you there.
Friday night.
But let's we're talking about some of this. Let's give them. We recorded a couple of live acoustic ones, and talking about this record, and one of them being that you released a song a little while back, but we have the official music video to go with it, and we did a live acoustic version on today's show, a song called Home.
Yeah.
That, like I said, now and got a beautiful video to go with it all. And
yeah, we released a video day before Thanksgiving, and a song that Nathan and I wrote in the studio, messing around one day, and came up with a cool chord progression, and then I think it took me like 4 months to write the lyrics. We wrote like 4 different songs worth, and then finally, the lyrics finally found their home. Oh, look at that.
Hey.
Look at that.
See what he did there.
Another day of skipping class, my notebook's in my hand. Front was covered in obscene words and stickers of my favorite bands. Dreaming of being anywhere, walking down the boulevard. An inconvenience at 16 can make life just seem too hard. Once I'm gone, I'll never go back home. No, I'll never go. Before I knew it, life would come and ship me off to sea. Cold and wet on the starboard side, wondering how my life could be. I'm 1,000 miles in all directions from any country shore. And if we head to western headland, it would be 1,000 more. I'd give anything to go back home. I'd give anything to go back home. Caught the eye of a brown-eyed girl in a coastal English town. Weren't too many boys with Missouri accents hanging around. She fell in love with the little things as a love where I was raised. Fell lost and told me my home sounded like the perfect place. Now I'm on my way. I'm on my way back home. Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm on my way back home. Plane touched down about an hour ago, that old suitcase in my hand. Brass around the handle rubbed against my wedding band. She grabbed my other hand with hers and we watched it break of dawn. Had to go around the world to figure out where I belong. Now I found my way. I found my way back home. Yeah, I found my way. I found my way. Found my way back home. Oh yeah, I found my way. Found my way back home.
I mean, we talked about it on the last one, but great song, and really enjoyed it. And this was cool to get a little live stripped down version with the three of you today. And but do you feel like maybe that has this song changed at all for you? Like, or do you feel the same when you're singing like these as you wrote it, or does it like take on new meanings? And now it's like it's gained over a year or whatever
No, yeah, definitely. Because when I wrote it, it was like I was pretty annoyed with it at that point because it had taken so long.
And I hated it.
I hated it. Honestly, yeah, I did not like. I didn't like it. I was trying to vie for it not even being on the record. And now that it's it's been like I guess a year now. It's a song about me, and so yeah, I think I have. It's more endearing to me now than it was because I was just so annoyed with it when we recorded it. I was like, okay, I don't want to hear that song anymore. But people really seem to enjoy it. I was looking for a better word. But yeah, when we play it live and we play it, it was probably played the most out of anything that we have. People always really enjoy it. And it's always a really... The biggest compliment when somebody comes up and is like, "Oh, what was that song?" He's, "Oh, that's one I wrote." It's like, "You wrote that song?" It's like that's always the biggest compliment for me. So
people relate to it.
Yeah, totally,
Sure.
totally.
And I think that's too Josh, the producer of the record, his credit as well, as he was very adamant that song be finished and that we keep going on it, despite Riley's
me bitching about it. Yeah.
It was every time Riley was like, I don't like this song, and Josh was like, this song is great. And
it's like, in fact, that's going to be your first single.
Yeah. And then they convinced me to end the first track on the album. Look at that.
And I was shocked whenever they said that too, after the whole up and down of that song. But
but there's a lot of those stories though, like through the history, people that maybe a song they didn't think was going to be the hit, but then all of a sudden, like the people responded to it, and that's the one that they end up singing. They end up having to close their shows with and stuff because people like becomes the big song they want to sing along to and stuff. And like they were like, man, this song barely made the record, and like it's like
for sure.
So you never really know what people are going to respond to. You have an idea, you guess that hey, I think this is going to be a good one, but until you put it out there and you get the reaction. So
yeah.
But I think like Nathan said, it is relatable. I think everybody has a place they call home or a feeling of home and stuff, and there's a lot of that where in these lyrics that you can kind of connect to your own personal story and stuff totally. Too. So. But yeah, and the video looks really nice, and kind of got this like a country farm kind of look to it all.
Yeah, we were over in little town, Valmeyer, Illinois, I believe. It was, sorry about that. Patrick had worked with this guy named Chris Dunn, and he came in and first just shot some. We were like doing rehearsals in the studio, and he shot some cool pictures. So we just talked like, "Hey, man, you want to try doing a video?" And so it was crazy how great the video looks because that was his first attempt at doing a video. I doubt will be his last, but yeah, he being a photographer, he had his spots and stuff, and so we just went and just got some really cool shots and let the beauty of the Midwest, do its thing. Like we got some beautiful days that we shot it on, and it's just like, man, it's really pretty out here. So
I'm just jealous I'm not the one holding hands with you in the video.
Well, you weren't available that day. So
I think one thing that the video and the song connect on that's apparent to me is a lot of people that grow up in Missouri kind of struggle with whether they hate it or they love it.
Totally.
And the song speaks to that, which is, I think people feel that everywhere, but especially it's a common thing growing up in the small town in Missouri. I think everybody has their experience with that. Nobody's completely from St. Louis here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
so
where
we-
I tell everybody.
Right.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's the same thing everywhere. Is just like you grow up and you hate it, and then you love it, and then you hate it, and then you love it. And
Yep.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in Wentzville, Missouri, and at the time there was nothing out there, and now it's a lot different today. But I definitely went through some of that, and where I was like, man, there's nothing to do here in this town, or I'd like to go somewhere else, and but now I'm like, don't know that I would go anywhere else really. Like it's kind of grown on me to where I'm like, this is home. Like this is all I know really. So.
Well, I just remember being told, like, if you want to do music, like, you got to get out of here and, like,
Oh yeah.
go to LA or go to New York or go to wherever. And I'm like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of opportunities to do music around here. I love it.
For sure. Yeah. That's, I talk about a lot in doing the show, like how ideal St. Louis is for a working musician, like being that, it's a lot more affordable than any coast. And then they got a lot of opportunities for gigs. And and everything's within if you do start touring wise, like, there's a quick drive to a lot of other markets to where you can easily tour out of St. Louis and stuff. So
Yeah.
It's like 20 to 30% cheaper than Nashville, but it's a day's drive away from Nashville.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it's situated perfectly. I mean, as a city in general, it's situated perfectly. But yeah, I find a lot of people moving here recently anyway that are just like, they love the city and it's affordable and they can afford to do it full time, which is a lot of people's first goal in music, is just doing only music.
Yeah. I mentioning touring, I'm guessing we kind of said some things before we hit record, but I guess that's a goal for 24 after this record comes out, maybe getting spreading around a little bit, trying to get the word out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Trying to take the show on the road.
Yeah.
And we got some more dates lined up, but really going to try and hit hard and play all around, not just here in St. Louis. So
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like that'd be a lot of fun, hop in the van with the buddies and getting to see a little bit of the country and
for sure.
and getting out there.
And like you said, there's so many, Chicago, Kansas City, Memphis, Nashville, just to name a few, are all 4-hour drives,
Right.
and it's a total different scene in each city, and yeah, just getting out and playing. Not that I don't love playing St. Louis. I've been lucky to do it for a bunch of years now, full time. So, but yeah, that's definitely a goal of ours.
Yeah. So when the time comes, what do you guys, what's your like go-to road snack if you're hopping in the van for a road trip, and what's your
What a good question. Man. Well, coffee for sure. If I'm going anywhere.
I'm more of like, I'm the energy drink guy when I'm on the road. Like, I got to have the caffeine to keep moving. Otherwise, I just want to crash.
right?
Yeah. But let's see. We just drove back from Kansas City, and it's just part of my redneck genes. But man, I will just mess up some Cheetos, like just some jalapeno Cheetos,
Yeah.
flaming hot. I don't care. Give them to me. And so yeah, I ripped some Cheetos
This
for
is
sure.
going to sound prissy, but that's too messy for the car.
Just lick your fingers.
Yeah.
You can't let it go to waste anyways.
All right.
What's yours?
I tend to do like chocolate, candy, sugar, like just energy.
Patrick's
I
probably some
crash.
pretentious. Patrick
Oh,
probably.
no. It's the only pretentious part is it's regional.
Oh,
It depends on where we are.
Yeah.
If we're in like Southwest, hands down breakfast burritos, like gas station burritos in general. Once you get Colorado and West, it's everything. South, chicken sandwiches and chicken
that's
biscuits
for sure.
Specifically the ones that are not branded, that are in a warmer wrapped in foil. That's always the best thing. Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear
Patrick's a
this come
culinary
out.
connoisseur.
I was gonna say I'm surprised to hear some of this coming out of your face.
Yeah.
But the things like if we're in the Midwest, it's all about the snack cake. It's all about the powdered donuts, the zingers.
Yeah, nutty buddies. Nutty buddies.
Yep.
What's yours, Shane?
Well, here, I thought you would appreciate this then.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yes.
It's
There's,
Shane's Little Debbie's
Yeah.
Rock Paper Podcast.
That's amazing.
Logo.
Yeah. So, you can keep it. Yeah, I got plenty for
Just where
everybody.
I'm gonna put that.
That's advertising, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I know I do enjoy like the QT taquitos.
Oh, yeah.
You know, those are good to throw in the car and go. And recently, like I wish there was. We finally got one closer now, but I've told the story a couple times. But I think it's funny to me. Like we got Buc-ee's down south and stuff, and like there's they just opened one in Springfield, Missouri now, which I'm excited about. That there's one a little closer, but we were traveling through on a bachelor party down outside in Nashville. I forget what town it was, but there was like this big like ATV park, and like I remember we were like, and we left early in the morning, and we're like 5 o'clock. We roll into Buc-ee's, and they're like, and I just cracked me up that they're on there yelling, "We got fresh brisket on the block," and I'm like, this is like, you know, I haven't even had breakfast yet, and they're, got brisket all ready to go, and it's like so. But yeah, it was just funny to me that that's how they do it down south, talking about regional and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
But
I've definitely had a brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was like,
Man, I'm missing out.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I just think that stuff's funny to think about. Like I enjoy.
That was a
the
great
snacks
question.
and
As soon as
stuff.
you was
Yeah.
like, man, what a.
Yeah. Probably if I had to go for actual like a candy, maybe like a bag of Twizzlers or something, like that's always a pretty solid road trip snack because you can kind of munch on those all day.
Man, I don't think I've had a Twizzler since '98.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I've never purchased Twizzlers, but I've eaten so many.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that speaks volumes about me or
I don't know.
It's a gateway candy.
Right. Yeah.
it is.
You mentioned Flamin' Hot. Have you guys? Did you check out that movie they made about Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
No, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, it's
Adoration, hopefully.
Oh, wait, yeah, about how they invented it. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Now I do know. No, I have not seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's actually really good. Like I mean, I didn't really know what to expect, but it was actually a really inspiring story about this guy, and then like that. He like he's a Mexican guy, and he knew that they weren't these like that Flamin' Hot with like they like things a little spicier, so he knew that it would do well, and like pitched the idea, and like they made it happen, and then like it actually got pulled off the shelves for a while because and then eventually like became their largest selling thing they do now is, so it's pretty wild story that is like. That people almost didn't believe in it at first, and then all of a sudden, like, then it becomes huge. So, yeah, it was just like inspiring to see some guy that believed in the product, and I mean, I think applies to about anything really, whatever you're doing as far as music or something else. But like, I feel like I connected a lot because like that's how I feel about all my friends here in town. I'm like, I believe I've been doing the show, creeping up on 10 years of doing this podcast now, trying to highlight my friends' music and, just waiting for everybody else to see what I see. So that's kind of,
yeah, man.
So it was kind of cool to see it pan out, for having a happy ending to the success story. So.
Totally. I'm going to have to watch that.
Well, and huge shout out to you too, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude. Like promoting all of us all the time.
Just Shane just being in my living room right now, just hanging out and just talking about, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else that promotes St. Louis music as much as you do. So
Oh, definitely not.
we appreciate that.
Not even close.
Well, I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
Trying
out
to
to Shane. Check out Rock Paper Podcast.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to do my part, trying to lift up the whole city and stuff. And, hopefully some others will jump on board and continue to, fight the good fight.
Fight the good fight.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But it is wild to think about. Like, I am creeping up on May will be 10 years of doing this show. So trying to think about putting together a big old party. And so maybe we'll get there. I don't know what it'll all be entail, but hopefully we'll get together sometime soon and celebrate. So
as you should.
Yeah, we did a big 8-year one last year, and then I skipped on 9. Things kind of got difficult last year with I moved my Debstock show to May last year, and then I was like, well, I didn't want to go right from that show into another show, and then I like sat for a little while, and then I was like, well, I'll just save it do a big one in 10. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but anyway, so let's talk about another song from the record. We talked about the horns, and maybe that'd be a good time to drop in this song called "Bad Bitch," and
or explicit song.
Right.
Yeah.
And this, again, features the horns.
Yeah.
And just really fun, funky song for me. Like, it was fun to hear you guys take this a little different approach for this track compared to what we may have heard from the band already. But I love the song. And what would you like to share around this particular one? Well,
it was one of those, like, I just started jamming on something. It's like, oh, I really like this groove, and I just started singing the hook, and then it was one of those, like, okay, this is just a placeholder. Like, I'm gonna write a better song, in my head. Like, oh, I'm gonna write a better song for this, and then it was like, well, I was gonna make a comparison to, not that I'm comparing these songs at all, but like when McCartney wrote Yesterday and he had Scrambled Eggs, like, that's the placeholder. So to me it was like, oh, I'm gonna write like a serious bluesy song to this, and then I don't know, then it just stuck where it was. So when I wrote the song for the record, it was at the time cannabis was still illegal in the state of Missouri, and so now maybe I should be law abiding citizen, Mary Jane, but just kidding. But yeah, so it's just a fun song, that the I don't know, I think the the lyrics work with it, and it's just, it's a fun song. It's funky, it's groovy, and it's something to we really enjoy playing this one live. So yeah.
Couples up, Lord, she looks fine. Lean the seat on back, she hops inside. Candy, baby, you know it's right. If you make it sweet, I'll take a bite. Won't you come and take a ride? You know what you like. Let me get inside your mind. Oh, up all day, up all night. It's time to play, not time to fight. Slip your fingers in, oh, make it tight. Run your tongue along the bottom until it feels right. No telling what that girl's gonna do. No telling what that girl's gonna do to me, that bad little bitch Mary Jane. Spark that flame, eyes so bright. Oh, that crackle, that that you hear could be purple on to white. Ooh, squeezing closer, it's out of sight. Take a hit and enjoy the ride. No telling what that girl's gonna do to me. Yeah. No telling what that girl's gonna do to me. That bad little bitch Mary Jane. Bad little bitch Mary Jane. Yeah. Bad little bitch Mary Jane. Ooh, that fine little honey Mary Jane. No telling what that girl's gonna do. No telling what that girl's gonna do to me. That bad little bitch Mary Jane.
Yeah, man. Well, you can hear it live with the band, full horn section, everything. Like I said, January 12th, Old Rock House,
Yes, sir.
St. Louis, Missouri. And but yeah, I can't wait to see that. That's going to be super cool.
Yeah.
Seeing the full horns up there and everything. So the big band version of the Lost Cause.
Yeah, and a shout out to Miss Kelly Justice, who sang background vocals on this one, and she was amazing. So
Yeah, this song would not be the same song without Kelly.
totally.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you guys meet her?
She was friends with Chris Sanders, who plays the organ on this track. They were friends, and we were just looking for it. Just seemed like it needed a female vocalist on the song, so he just called her up, and she came in and killed it. You know, like she was in there for
Effortlessly.
yeah, like 30 minutes. Like I swear, she just came in and killed it. Yeah, so
Yeah. That's one of the best, like when you have talented friends like that you can just kind of call on them. And, hey, I hear this, and they just go in and they do what they do. And it's
Totally.
like, makes your life so much easier.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's like I don't have to give you much direction. Just
yeah,
you just do what you do and nail it. But yeah, that's this is I like the lyrics a lot. Like especially like being about Mary Jane. Like I like the idea like that you're like kind of personifying her like as it's almost obviously everybody knows what we're talking about, but also the idea like it is maybe a woman named Mary Jane too at times. But it's funny that definitely kind of throwback to like the Rick James, Mary Jane and stuff too a little bit. Like it's kind of my mind that where I started leaning like that kind of funkier side of and stuff. So
yeah. In my head, I like when I hear this, I'm like in like a '72 Cadillac DeVille, like red leather on the inside.
Yeah.
That's what in my head. That's where I was. So for sure, I'm glad that you. That's awesome. So,
yeah,
And then, Nathan came in and he played guitar and trumpet and then arranged all the horns on this. And so it definitely, I remember you originally doing something, you did something different on the horns and you being like, dude, I don't know why I did that. I'm like funking this up.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
Let's get funky.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the horn stuff kind of got created in studio on this. Like some of the others, I had a pretty good idea before I got to the studio, like what I wanted to do with the horns. But this one, like I started playing this thing, I'm like, oh, let me layer this on. Oh, let me layer this on. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So it kind of grew in the studio for sure.
Yeah, the Miami Vice vibe.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, where's that? Is that going to be the music video? Like just you and cruising in the car?
I have
and your Chips sunglasses.
It's funny. I've had an idea for a video for this one before we've made any other videos, and but that's exactly like Chips.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, or like Snoop Dogg, and you ever see the remake of Starsky and Hutch?
Oh yeah.
Snoop Dogg's like, it's like, this is 76. It's like, it's 1974. It's like, yeah, it's like that's what I want to be. Yeah.
My buddy Tommy has an old police bike.
Oh,
No kidding. It'll be in the video.
perfect. You can be the cop. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I think I don't know. I still that's kind of how my mind works too. Like when I hear certain songs and stuff, I'll be motivated sometimes to like we'll just start kind of painting that picture in the music video and stuff. Like it's just kind of funny how some of these sounds just start allowing your brain to work that way to like you start creating the visuals to go with it and stuff. So
totally. And I love that your visuals were similar. Like, that you went to the same place.
That means we did our job. We painted the correct picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wrote a song about it. Well, here you go. Freedom. Anyway. Sorry.
But yeah, man, it's another great tune. And so this was, we settled on 10 tracks.
10 tracks.
10 tracks for the record, right? So we'll have full album available on streaming that day, also the 12th.
Sir. Yep.
January 12th, as well as physical copies available at the show.
Making CDs.
Yeah, man. Which I think, I know people kind of, talk about how CDs are kind of, done, but I also like having a physical representation of it. And
I feel like we talked about that last time. It's like having something tangible that you can like, it's like, here it is. So, and then
even
as a kid,
just for the liner notes or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, that was the best part.
Yeah.
Growing up was the being able to see the players, where it was recorded, who the producers were, and sometimes that information isn't available online.
Or you got to dig a little for it.
Yeah.
Which makes it less in your face.
Yeah.
So, in a way, I guess people get less credit for that, but...
Yeah. Well, I buy a lot of stuff on vinyl when I can. And
this will be available on vinyl eventually. They're backed up about a year right now. So, this will definitely be on vinyl eventually because I love vinyl too. So,
but I also I don't always get to listen to my records as often as I'd like. I'm very mobile, a lot. So, but so at least I don't feel as guilty streaming when I own a copy of it. Also,
totally.
There's part of that for me is like I know streaming doesn't exactly pay well, but at least I bought a copy that I feel not as
for sure
take a little bit of the guilt away.
Yeah.
But I agree, man. I think this vinyl on this record would be a lot of fun. It'd be cool to hear it on my turntable for sure.
Yeah. It'll be
the extra couple pops and things.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
I don't know. It's cool. I'm glad that it's made the resurgence that it has. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like you're saying, because a lot of the plants can't. Yeah,
they can't keep up with the demand. There's only like 2 in the country, or it's crazy.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it just takes. Yeah, and then the people who can pay more, they get first dibs.
Right.
Sounds like we need to open a vinyl plant.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you didn't help that Taylor Swift put out all of her
put out everything. Yeah.
So she got top priority for everybody.
Which at the end of the day, though, gangster move. Yeah. I do have to say, oh no, I'll just re-record everything and then own all of it. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. She's killing it right now. And I watched that Eras Tour movie in this. I didn't actually make it to the live concert, but I watched the movie version of it, and it's impressive to see what they were able to pull off and stuff. It's
highest selling tour ever.
Yeah, it's.
Hey Taylor, if you need an opener,
that's right.
Yeah,
I got an album coming out.
Give me a call.
He listens to this, don't you?
Oh yeah,
don't you think? Yeah, for sure.
He's a Chiefs fan too.
Yeah,
let's throw that out there.
My whole life.
Yeah. That does it bother you as much as whenever they have to show Taylor every time Travis does anything
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And she's even said, like, I can't control that. I don't have anything to do with the camera operator.
Yeah.
Like, they're, it's like, don't.
I will say I went to the game on Christmas and I did not know that she was there because they didn't put her on it or anything. So
But
I guess they're tired of it too. But,
yeah.
but
yeah, just let her enjoy the game.
yeah. But unless she wants me to open for her, and then in that case, show her all you want, girl. I got you.
Yeah.
I'll wear some of those bodysuits. I bet I'd look good in them. Anyway. We can edit this out, right?
Well, let's talk about one more tune from this record, and this is a little stripped down acoustic version of the song, but this is a song called 4:30, and this is just Riley and a guitar here today. But really enjoyed this one as well. But what do you want to tell us about 4:30?
This one was cool in that, like, I couldn't think of it was one of those, I was up really late and just started playing guitar, and it just early, yeah. But I couldn't figure out like a hook for it. It was like, okay, there's something there, but and so I have notes on my phone that I just have pages and pages of. Some of them are lines, some of them are like full choruses, some of them are just rhymes. But I just started scrolling through that and found one is 4:30 early or late, and I was like, oh, that's it. And so threw that in there, and then this one was cool in that there wasn't much to it as far as the studio went.
Very minimalist.
Very, which is cool because the song's really about being alone in a room, and doing, you could do good or bad things being alone in a room. So we kept it very minimal and stripped down, and it ended up being one of my favorites on the record that I've written. So
let's take a listen to 4:30.
Outside has been colder than those words last October that I left you with, standing there all alone. Rode the high of being free, said I was finally doing me. Now there's just emptiness that chills me to the bone. The hours fly by, how come the minutes seem to last for days? Not strong enough to face it sober, so smoke my mind into a haze. Keep telling myself needing love is just another phase. Stone and staring at the clock, it's 4:30 early or late. I never remember what I do on a bender, but I know the outcome's always the same. I wake up some afternoon after dreaming of you, just to find a stranger lying there. I can't recall their name. hours fly by. How come the minutes seem to last for days? Not strong enough to face it sober, so I gassed up on cheap beer and cocaine. Thought by now I'd learn how to act my age. Stone and staring at the clock. It's 4:30, early or late. Doing everything I can to make believe you weren't worth it. But this hurt runs too deep because I know I deserve it. The hours fly by. How come the minutes last for days? Not strong enough to face a sober, so I guess up on cheap beer and cocaine. Thought by now I learned how to act my age. Stone and staring at the clock. It's 4:30, early or late. Just another night staring at the clock, thinking it's 4:30, early or late.
Probably just you're gonna kind of keep it that way for the show.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Just play it out.
I think that's kind of like I think you look at albums as like maybe, or even a live show, as far as like like a movie or a soundtrack, or like a lot of you go highs and lows and stuff. You don't want people to burn out too much. You want to kind of dip a little bit and come bring them back up for the ending or whatever, totally, that kind of stuff like that you think about. So it's like having a moment in towards the middle of the show or something where the band steps away and you play with just the guitar up there, and like those are always cool moments I like that I really enjoy at a live show. And
yeah,
also
me too.
And also having an album like that represents that as well, having range throughout a record, and so having, again, like not every song has the horns on it and stuff, so those are always like little special treats throughout the record and stuff. So those kind of things are always stuff to think about when you're putting all this together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
a lot more to think about than I originally
right.
thought. But yeah, because you think about all that stuff.
All right.
This is one of those songs we were talking earlier about how we wrote some songs and then put them on the album later. We were ready to. We had 14 songs at one point written, and we're like ready to get this album out. Let's go, And then here we are a year later.
Yeah,
because we wrote these other songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was the first one that was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you played this. It was either for me or for Josh, or like Josh and I in the studio the night after you finished it, basically. And I remember my immediate thought was that this has got to be on the album. Mm-hmm. And then that all came fairly quickly because we ended up using the demo vocals for the final track.
Oh, yeah.
We recorded it a bunch of times, but the first time he recorded it was the best.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And at that point we were pretty much done.
Siri.
What was that?
My watch didn't understand.
Okay. But yeah, so this is part of the reason why the album is just now finally coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you said something earlier too about that in that time, like you guys have been working on this record, but we also have some new stuff, so we won't have to wait very long for more new music. Hopefully, maybe not as long, at least.
We're working on new stuff now. We already, we got new stuff so yeah, there'll be more than one release in 2024 for sure. I don't know what that is yet, but
Right.
for sure something. So,
But yeah, hopefully we'll keep it going. Keep now that we got it all figured out, and be able to put these out a lot more frequently
yeah,
and stuff. So
Yeah, I know we've got another music video coming out before too long too.
yeah, yep. We got at least one.
At
actually.
least one, yeah.
So yeah, we've been. It's been a long time coming now, but we've been working. So it's
Sure.
like now it's like, oh, we got a lot of stuff. All of a sudden, right?
yeah.
After 2 years, but yeah. So I'm hoping to hit the ground running.
Yeah. Well, you can again get plugged in on your. We got Facebook and Instagram, right, for Riley Holtz and Lost Cause, and YouTube channel.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So click subscribe there to keep up with those music videos, and again, etix.com for tickets to the album release party.
Doors
And-
at 7, shows at 7:30.
Yeah. You and Illegal Before Noon, that comes from Moving On, right?
Yeah, that was originally that was the name for Moving On when I wrote it,
Yeah.
and then I don't remember why exactly it changed, but it just seemed like Illegal Before Noon. It was almost too good of a line
Yeah.
So it just, for the name of the album, I don't know, it just worked. We were all kind of in agreement on that. So
Sure. I think that's a probably, there's there's a couple of various topics that come up throughout the record that I think it's a pretty good name for representing, I think, quite a few of these songs.
yeah, exactly. It
Talking about some cheap cocaine and 430 and Mary Jane and
Yeah.
Right, murder.
yeah. It's like,
Oh yeah, there's that. Yeah, yeah. Nathan calls it. What did you call it? My felony run. What did you have to remember? My criminal run. I don't know.
Criminal run.
Yeah.
all right. But yeah, it works, man, for sure. It's and moving on. I told you in person, but I love that song so much, and I'm really excited to experience that live with the band and also at the show. So
Yeah, man.
it's gonna be a real treat. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
It's a great tune, and
Yeah, it's fun live too. We play that quite a bit, and that's another one that we've gotten a few times. Like, hey, what was that? My favorite was like, what was that Sunday song?
Right.
And I was like, what?
That one about
That
Sunday.
Sunday song. And finally I figured out, I was like, oh man, that was mine. And the guy was just like blown away. He's like, I was trying to Shazam it and I couldn't find it. And I was like, you will, man.
Yeah.
It'll be out there.
a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You well, let's talk about a couple of other things. I got a couple of questions for you guys. And thinking about this record, what would you guys like to see maybe as like a dream duet or collaboration sometime? Is there somebody currently that you that comes to mind that you maybe work with someday, or even either an original or you're maybe even jamming on one of these songs with you or something like that?
Yeah, I feel like this is cliche at this point for anybody from St. Louis or the state of Missouri, but Nathaniel Ratliff is like just the coolest to me.
Yeah.
I love his music. I love the lyrical content. I love just everything. And so it's like a lot of these, especially the ones with the horns, it's like that was a big influence for me. It's like I want that sound, I want that vibe and everything. So he's definitely one. And then at the end, when I'm trying to write most songs, maybe not Bad Bitch, but I'd say this a lot, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to write Jason Isbell songs. I'm really like, what would he do in this? And I know he's highly regarded. He was the headliner at John's Festival Open Highway this last year, and in the Americana range, which we consider ourselves, I think he's the benchmark. I don't know. At least, he's amazing to me. So those are my guys, I guess.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Man, really just too many people to even narrow it down.
Right.
Honestly, like I do. I brag about my dad playing all the time, and I thought about maybe next album, like getting a guitar lesson from him on a track or something.
Yeah,
We're gonna have the whole Sickmeyer family on there.
no kidding. Yeah, bring in the crew.
That would, yeah. I mean, I wish I had that kind of, with my having the ability, a possibility of playing with my dad and my son, and like it's just like really cool thing about music that you can make that stuff possible and stuff.
Sorry, I was just thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
Form a family band.
Yeah, right.
Tour the countryside.
Yeah.
You won't be invited. Anyway, sorry. That guy had to. What about you, Patrick?
Oh man, I think for me, it'd be on the production side, similar to Riley. I think it'd be awesome to work with Dave Cobb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'd have a lot of conversations about him.
Yeah, his style of production and the minimal approach and the ribbon mics and the historical space that he works out of and the beautiful board that he works on, all of those things.
Yeah, and he won a Grammy with Isbell, and he won a Grammy with Sturgill Simpson, and then Chris Stapleton, and
and his story is just really cool too. Like he thought he was one thing. He thought he wanted to be a rock and roll producer, and then he completely changed country music.
Yeah,
back to what we all love, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I know John Henry's worked with him in the past, and so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely mine.
I
maybe selfishly just to learn a few things,
Sure.
but
yeah, no kidding.
From a songwriting standpoint, I'd probably go like John Mayer.
Yeah,
Like, huge influence, I think, for me as far as songwriting goes.
Oh yeah, I think any guy that's like in between, I don't know, late 20s to mid 30s that plays acoustic guitar. Like I haven't met one that doesn't like John Mayer. You know.
Oh yeah.
Maybe if you're in a metal band, those guys might not. But anybody that's playing an acoustic guitar, I feel like, oh yeah, John's great.
Well, and just the versatility of songwriting. Like
Totally.
he writes everything from the radio pop hit to real funky stuff and
Heavy blues.
Yeah.
What I saw a clip of him on tour with Dead and Co. and what he did I think he put "Your Body Is a Wonderland" in one of the songs.
Did he really?
Like he did a transition.
slipped it in there. Yeah.
That's funny.
Which I thought was like really funny, trolling the Dead and Co. crowd.
Totally. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that was the case. Something like it was definitely one of his big ones. I think it was "Your Body Is a Wonderland." So anyway, it just made me laugh thinking about.
For sure, that's hilarious.
Yeah, we got to see him this year when he came, did the acoustic stripped down thing, and
me and Nathan went and saw him when he was just by himself, and then
the fact that the songs like still hold up, just stripped down, like that's kind of what we're after too, like being able to that the song stands by itself without Patrick and all the production stuff, like
Definitely.
But
you mentioned Dave Cobb though, and I got to see when I saw Stapleton over the summer, and Dave Cobb played guitar on the whole set. So
he plays. He'll play with. I love that too. Yeah.
So I thought that was neat. Like,
I believe we made that reference when I asked Patrick to be in the band.
Yeah.
Just like Dave Cobb, dude.
Right.
Just
Dave
come
Cobb.
in and
that's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I Brent Cobb.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love him.
I think that's an interesting story how those two were connected. Also, he was talking about. He knew that he had this cousin that was doing music and stuff, and then he's like, they met at like a funeral in the family, and he gave him his EP or demos or whatever, and he's like, here, and then they end up collaborating and stuff. But it's just kind of funny that they didn't, they're related and they didn't
know each other.
Yeah, didn't know each other.
Related and in the same industry.
Yeah, they met at a funeral.
At a funeral. I didn't know that. That's wild. Yeah, I've seen him with Stapleton a couple times. And then down at off Broadway, I like him a lot too. I
also one other more thing about Dave Cobb. I thought was really funny is that he also produced those Wheeler Walker Jr. records.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, which
I didn't know that. Awesome. Well, no wonder they sound so good.
they sound
the
amazing.
music zone is excellent.
like, so he's won, you know, like you're saying, they're winning Grammys for, you know, Isabel and Sturgill and Stapleton and then he records this crazy country album with Wheeler and stuff, and but those, even though the songs are ridiculous, like they sound incredible.
Yeah, for sure. The music's very, very good. Yeah.
His new record, Wheeler's latest Ram, is more like feels like an Eliminator, like a ZZ Top, like a synthesizer rock record kind of sound.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so like there's like not like all the way, but there's definitely like a couple of tracks that like really lean into that, and so he's trying to switch it up a little bit, but still a lot of fun.
Oh,
yeah, I always tell my buddies he's like the Steel Panther of the country world.
Yeah, totally. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else I got for you guys. All right. What I'm mentioning songwriting and stuff. Like, is there a certain song you wish you wrote?
Oh man.
Is there one that comes on that you're just like, damn, I wish.
Well, speaking of, I don't know if it was his first album, but his Brent Cobb's title track, "Shine on Rainy Day." It's like, every lyric of that song is like it speaks to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's even the I get all the time. I write sad songs a lot. And I don't mean to. It's just what comes out. But in the second verse, he's friend once told me, "Boy, you sound so lonely. All of them cheating, leaving, done me wrongs. Have you heard of a happy song?" Like that line is like, oh man, yeah. I've had that conversation with people. So that's definitely one. Like I hope to cover it sometime. And it's funny that we were talking about him because I warm up with that song a lot, and it's just one of those. It totally speaks to me. So.
Every Beatles album ever written.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. While My Guitar Gently Weeps is probably like, it's one of my favorites just for multiple reasons. But
yeah,
like I wish I had written that one.
Well, then, if you do that, something. My favorite singer of top 5 singers, but Sinatra, I was obsessed with real young, and he didn't compliment anybody, especially like new people in the 60s. He was an old guy, and he was like, that's the greatest love song that's been written in the last 50 years. Talking about George Harrison something. And we have an ode to him in Moving On. And one of the lines I say, the tax man's coming. That morning I heard Taxman, and it was like, oh, I didn't know George Harrison wrote that song. It's like, seems like every one of my favorite Beatles songs he wrote.
Same as George, the George stuff. Paul and John obviously were great together, but the George stuff is like my favorite.
Fantastic, for sure. Patrick?
Oh man. Every time it gets to me, I've got so many ones. I think anything from the album Casadega by Bright Eyes.
Oh,
I think
we listened to that on the way back from Nashville.
We
right?
did.
Yeah.
That album I think was 2008 or 2007, and it kind of gets written off as like just from a certain time, But it's some of the best songwriting I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was a journey. That was a trip.
The production is amazing. The sprinkled in mysticism adds like another layer to it. It's really great. And if anybody hasn't listened to it, or revisit it, because it has a lot of layers to it.
It's one thing that's cool, like when it comes to our music, is that we all have such different influences. There's a lot of stuff that we all like, obviously, that's similar, but we also have like just out there in all sorts of different kinds of music that it's like cool that we're all bringing that in, not even knowing it,
Right.
Yeah, which kind of makes it hard to like call a genre of what we do because of how many different influences.
Yeah.
Even within the same genres. Like if we say country, the three of us like different country.
We all have different ideas.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you referred to it as Americana. I think that probably the best umbrella for it because you guys do cover a lot of ground even under that. But you know, I don't. Maybe one song's kind of country, the next one could be, you know, like I said, funky and stuff. Like it's completely different.
Whatever you would call, you know, country and blues and pop and funk and
Americana.
Yeah.
Had a baby. That's that's what we are. And which
Yeah.
Well, I think that, you know, in true, people think Americana, they think, you know, country leaning stuff, but to me, it's like R&B and
Sure.
soul music. Like that's just as Americana as anything else, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you do have a, and I forget the name now. I'll have to pull it up here. You got one on there that was like really kind of slow jam feel to it, R&B. I can't think of now, but
Michelangelo.
no, I don't think it on the record.
yeah, I don't know. I can't see the titles on this.
What number
But
is it? Do you
I
know?
don't even remember now,
Sorry.
but-
I don't remember.
Yeah, it had that kind of feel to me, like a kind of a little more R&B feel to it. So
Yeah. There's definitely that in there
yeah.
for sure.
I'll come up with it later.
Of course, yeah.
But Patrick brought up a good point about introducing new records to people and stuff, like that kind of the bright eyes, or revisiting a record you might have forgot about and stuff. But I always kind of think it's fun to get your guys' take, because like it's me as a fan. Also, I enjoy going to listen to new records all the time. But is there something currently on your playlist that you've been really feeling that you think more people should hear or revisit, or is there a certain artist or a record that you guys been into lately?
Dada. Yeah, I'm going to see him in Cali in February, but huge fan. The album Puzzles, probably the best one to check out.
It was good. I just listened to it after we were playing like an hour away, and he was like, listen to this album on the way back. And it was cool. It was really cool. Are you looking up your Spotify to see what you have me to?
I'm looking what I've been listening to.
I sometimes have a hard time just sitting and listening to a whole album, like from front to back, but that's one for me, like that I can't stop listening to. Like it just takes me through the whole album. Mm-hmm. You know, some albums I listen in stages, like, you know, I'll listen to the front half of it and then, I got to listen to something else for a minute and cleanse the palate or whatever, and then go back and finish the album later.
My recents are hilarious.
One or two. This is all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Jamiroquai lately.
There you go. Yeah.
Not recent, but I just, I don't know. I've been on a Jamiroquai kick recently. So,
I mean, every time I hear it, I'm gonna go to the thinking about Napoleon dancing to it, like it's one of the greatest scenes. And
incredible, incredible, absolutely, yeah. No, I've really just been playing. It's like it came out over the summer, but Jason Isbell's new record, I've just been. I haven't learned all the songs yet, but I've learned most of them at this point. It's just the songwriting is great.
He knows all the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, something that never comes off, and you know what I'm going to say, but something that never comes off my rotation is Willie Nelson, specifically 70s Willie Nelson, Red-Headed Stranger, Yesterday's Wine, and Shotgun Willie. I think those are the records that made me fall in love with country, and
he has a dog named Willie Nelson.
I have a dog named Willie Nelson too,
and a dog named Bjork, which is fantastic.
Yes,
just fantastic.
The dynamic duo, Bjork and Willie Nelson.
There's that
collaboration that had never happened. But yeah, those records are amazing. Red-Headed Stranger, for me, I reference it almost daily. It's amazing production because there is no production. Mm-hmm. And it speaks in a way that I don't think any record ever has or will.
Tell me how you really feel about it.
I could keep going.
So the way these guys might hear a guitar chord or whatever and figure out, hey, how's he playing that? Like you like to study on how these records were actually engineered and produced and stuff, like how they recorded certain things?
If there's one that is striking, like I can definitely hear some stuff that's unique. Usually that'll lead me into figuring out where it was recorded, who engineered it, who produced it, why they did what they did. Specifically, like Redheaded Stranger, they all sat in a circle like this. And if I'm not mistaken, it was very limited mics, maybe like 2 or 3, and they played it front to back. And that's how it was recorded. And it sounds like that. Like you can hear some creaks in the chair. You know, you can hear all that stuff. And sometimes people make that a gimmick. But that specific record, there's like an intimacy to it that is
humanizing
like,
too.
Yeah. And at the time they were trying to do the slick Nashville thing. And yeah, that's the one that led me down like a minimalist journey with recording. And we took some notes from that on a couple songs.
Yeah,
and
totally.
we definitely let some imperfections come through because they were they had a lot more character to them than
Dad.
Oh yeah, let a lot of things in there.
Yeah, that's fine. Foreshadowing.
I enjoy a lot of that stuff too. I listen to a pod and I reference it a lot, but a show called The 500 with Josh Adam Myers, and he goes through Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time and talks about it. And he started doing the show as like a tribute to a friend who was like a super music fan and passed, and then like, and you know, Josh says he's not, you know, he'll tell you he doesn't know anything about music. He's doing this as he's a comedian, and he's just doing it to learn more about music, to step out of his comfort zone and stuff. And but he you know, he gets in and he talks about some of the great records of all time and stuff. So it's fun to hear how some of them are recorded and different things. Like I remember one of them, it was a Black Sabbath record. They said they recorded it in like 8 hours. And I'm just like I think that's nuts to think about. Like they pretty much, you know, went in over on a weekend and knocked it out in like in one session or two or whatever it sounded like. And you know, just thinking about you know, how some bands might take a lot longer, you know, to do things, and then these guys knocked it out like that. It was like but you have to be super well rehearsed to even go in there.
Well, that's part of it. Like, you know, we weren't a band until we started recording these songs. Like, it's not like we had been playing these songs for a long time and then decided to go record them. You know, we're creating this from scratch. And then,
yeah, in a lot of ways, the album is you listening to the band being formed.
Yes.
Because especially like the addition of members as it goes, like the later tracks, and us kind of figuring out what we do together. Surrounded by Riley's songs. Right. It's kind of what it was. It's just Riley doing his thing and then us
not
coming
the traditional
in and
approach.
Yeah. But but it's cool like how it brought the band together too.
Totally.
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for everybody else to hear it, and like I said, we'll get January 12th. You'll be able to get your hands on a copy, and you can come pick up a physical at the show. You take home with you, or you can stream it if you're unable to make it that night. And we'll keep an eye out for more shows coming soon. And but I appreciate you guys taking some time to hang out with me and talk about this record. And
no, thank you, dude.
Really,
for real.
Really had a lot of fun today.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you guys, and I will see you at Old Rock House.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye, everybody.